Welcome back to Bronco Review. I'm Sean Patrick. I'm joined now by head coach Dave Cohen of the Hofstra Pride. Coach Cohen is widely regarded as one of the premier defensive minds in college football. In his fourth year with the Pride, his tenure has been one marked by constant improvement on both sides of the ball. In 2006, his team posted their best defensive effort in 10 years, and in 2007, the Pride had the second most improved record in the entire football championship subdivision. His resume before Hofstra includes a stint with the University of Delaware, where his defensive strategies were a key element in that program's 2003 Division I AA National Championship run. Coach Cohen is preparing his team for a visit to Waldo Stadium this Saturday to take on the Broncos. Coach Cohen, thank you for making time for us today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Coach, you've hung your hat on defense. What is the core of your defensive philosophy?
Be as aggressive as you can, play as hard as you can, and be disciplined.
Now, in a linebacker, what do you look for more in that position, speed or strength?
We go with speed, in our league, a lot like Bill Cubitt's offense. In our league, most of what we see is spread schemes, where those linebackers are not taking on two backs anymore. They're in a lot of space and covering really good athletes, skill guys. So we're more concerned with getting athletes there than we are, big, strong cavemen type guys.
The Pride has a very good mix of seasoned veterans and youth on the team. As a coach, how do you encourage the veterans to pass on that knowledge and the leadership to the younger players coming up behind them?
Well, our leaders have done a great job working with our young guys. I wish we had more older guys. Right now we're starting with 7 sophomores of our 22 guys. But our older guys, they have to make things right in the locker room, and they've done a great job in our leadership council, and they've done a great job passing things on.
Now, we were talking earlier about how your time at Hofstra has been marked by improvement every year. Do you see the response from the crowds with that, some more student involvement with the program as a result?
Well, actually, last year was a very young team, and 2 years ago was our best record at 7-4. But this year, our opening game was one of our better crowds. Probably not one of the better crowds for the MAC conference, but we had almost 8,000 people.
I was reading earlier the Hofstra Gridiron blog, the most recent entry from your quarterback, Corey Christopher, and he was talking about coming off a tough loss last week. And what really got me was he wasn't focusing on the loss. He was talking about not letting Richmond beat you twice by having that sting linger into next week. I was really struck at how his whole talk was really about staying positive. In fact, he kind of sounded to me like a coach firing up his team. What are some keys to keeping that positive attitude in the locker room?
Well, it's like anything else. People are more positive when you have success. We were 2-0, and we had a rough outing at Richmond, but we had a great practice yesterday, and I think the biggest thing is just looking forward and getting excited about having the ability to play against a Division I opponent.
Corey Christopher has been putting up a terrific performance so far this season, but I noticed how he doesn't really seem to focus on his own statistics. For him, it's more about winning or losing with the team.
Well, I think that's our whole locker room. Last year we did not have the season we all had hoped for, and the whole off season was about improving our record.
Hofstra enjoys an excellent academic reputation. For you, how much of being a coach is beyond the game, is preparing these student athletes for not just the football game, but life beyond football, life beyond college?
Well, it's interesting. Sometimes I miss the coaching part of it. When I was at Delaware, which is, by the way, is Bill Cubitt's playing days, but when I was at Delaware, I really enjoyed the schemes, and that was a really fun thing. Now it's more of a treat when I do get to do the X's and the O's. It's a lot more of doing CEO work and pulling things together and organizing and doing that sort of stuff.
So maybe more than being a coach, you'd also perhaps call yourself a mentor there at the Hofstra?
Mentor, and I have a lot more. I have 2 biological children and 85 players.
So that's quite a big family dinner then on Sunday evenings, isn't it?
You got that right, exactly.
Now, among the Broncos that your team will face this weekend is running back Brandon West, who is now the program's career leader in all-purpose yards. How would you categorize his style? And as a defense, how do you respond to that style?
Well, he's got it all. He does everything well, and the dilemma we have is they throw the ball so well. Also, your quarterback's big, he's strong, he's got a rifle, he's got. I know you graduated some great receivers, but Coach Cubitt just keeps on bringing in more. So the running back's gonna be a tough one. They get the ball to him in different ways, and because of their balanced attack, it's very difficult for us to gang up in numbers. When you're playing a team that sits in a 2-back set all day, it's a little easier to sneak people in the box to defend the run game. It's a little bit tougher here.
And lastly, Coach, now you're out there on the island, Hempstead, New York. Let's say it's a Sunday, and the Jets are playing the Giants. Which team colors are you wearing?
I'm wearing blue, but that's because it's Hofstra blue, but I'm also a Giant fan.
All right. Coach Cohen of the Hofstra Pride bringing his team in to face the Broncos at Waldo Stadium Saturday night, 7 o'clock. Have a safe trip out here, and we'll see you then, Coach.
Thank you very much.
For Bronco Review on 1660 The Fan, I'm Sean Patrick.